Yeah. No, it's not. Is there not a card in there? I put a card in there. Fluffy. Yeah, it does. What the fuck? No. That's a histogram, the wrong button.
Turns out I'm a fucking moron. Okay.
And rolling. We're rolling.
Welcome back
to
episode 35 of the
Beyond the Pine podcast. We're not doing that anymore. Cool. So,
Before we get started, we want to thank our sponsors.
Yes, thank you. Our sponsors this week are Vincero and Bespoke.
Good
Post.
job, baby. That was great. Bespoke Post. All right, cool.
yucky.
Post. Hey, friends. We're I guess this is usually the side of the table that tends to start stuff off, but we've moved things this way, and Steve's not here.
gone anonymous. He's been fucking captured by the Underground Railroad, and he's building, and no one knows how long
He's
the
been
railroad
captured by the Underground
The
Railroad.
Underground Railroad is where you get uncaptured.
Steve has gone completely autonomous. He is no longer a human. He is running off of steam.
He hasn't responded to our text. I don't know where the fuck
His
he
phone's
is.
off. He might have been taken by Somali pirates.
We've got the best Somalian pirates I've ever known.
I am the
Jamie
captain
and
now.
Mimi.
Hey. Yeah, we're mixing things up a little bit.
And Dr. Death and Scooby-Doo.
Back to death and Scooby-Doo, baby.
yeah. So, how's everybody's week been?
Good. I actually have a funny thing to start off on before we get into the details.
Tell me.
So,
But before you do that, I just wanted to say I had this really funny story to talk
come on, James.
about Buckley.
Okay.
Mine's about Buckley. Don't even. So, backstory. So I sold Buckley, James Buckley, famous actor James Allen McBuckley. I sold him my Canon 70D with a lens I bought for it, a really good lens, a Tamron lens. And I sold it to him for like $400, I think. Yeah, $400 or $500. It was a pretty fair price. It was in good condition. What the main thing about that he needed was he needed a camera that would shoot 1920 by 1080p, 60 FPS. And I was pretty sure it did. And he used it.
You just go to menu.
Well, he used it. He used it, and he was like, "Oh, that's awesome. This is great. I'll definitely buy it off you." I was like, "Cool."
No.
I got a text from him this morning.
I'll definitely use this. Yeah.
I'll definitely
be using it.
Yeah,
You know?
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
are you preemptively on the run from Buckley right now?
Yeah, I'm fucked now.
He's on his way from London right
at
now.
5:59 a.m. Buckley texts me. All right, mate. It's Buckley. Turns out your camera doesn't shoot 1080 at 60 FPS and only goes up to 720. I've told the authorities that you should be deported soon. And then he went on to say, ask me about another camera that he's now going to buy. He's like, this is the 6th camera I'll have to buy now. I'm so sorry, Buckley. Dude,
okay, just a victim blame real quick. He could have Googled it.
He could have Googled it, but the main thing is, I thought it did. And then he used it, and he was happy with
Ignorance is bliss sometimes.
He used it. He was happy with
To
it.
be fair, you also could have Googled it. So
I could have.
To be fair, I had nothing to do with this.
the fair.
Here's
I had
the
nothing to do
thing,
with this.
Buckley. You have my deepest apologies, and
Not mine, though, because I tweeted at you saying, I miss you, James Buckley, and you didn't respond to it.
dude, I also miss James Buckley. So
I've met him once, but I had a splendid time meeting him.
He doesn't follow me back on Instagram.
on Instagram,
What the fuck, dude?
do you guys have a Finstagram? I found this out last night by a show I was watching called Love. So Finstagram, it's not. I thought it was another app, but it turns out it's just like an alt account. You know how people have alt Instagram accounts where they'll post their privates, their private account.
It's like my mom follows me on here, and
But
this is where I post my bikini
friends,
pictures.
exactly. Your bikini
Oh.
pictures, your party pictures, and everything that you don't want the world to see except for your friends.
Right.
But I found that out from the show Love on Netflix.
Yeah, that's
I
where
love that
I
show.
put all my I
Dick
take
pics.
pictures of drugs that I'm selling
Yep.
with a really cool like 80s like soft background.
Yeah.
And it's all lit, and I shoot it on film.
And then
I
on
get
the
film
other
developed in a dark room.
I think
It's just
those are
ibuprofen.
just
It's usually
hair
a flip.
vitamins.
It's usually like a two picture that James posts, and it's one of the drugs, and it's really fucking beautiful. The second picture, bear with me, is me doing the drugs for James.
It's a 30
It's just you sitting there with your eyes
You've done
closed real hard.
so many hair vitamins.
Yeah, it's fucking pretty nuts. It's
Man.
a
His
good
hair
trip.
is off the fucking
Clay is
Yeah.
tripping on biotin.
But don't fucking think this is bullshit because James has got. We've fucking grown that shit. It's got
Yeah,
200 followers now.
No. It's actually closer to 800 million.
What's your at?
Oh, my at is
At Drugs for Dogs.
hand
It's
drugs
just
for
deworming
dogs.
pills.
Deworming pills.
I
Yeah,
run
my
a-
ass has
run
been
a-
really itchy lately.
I run a black market animal.
That's just there.
I run the black market, the entire thing.
James has been able to hook me up with a lot of
Businessman.
I've given
unregistered
him
guns.
a lot of
Patient
unregistered
zero.
guns, a lot of registered guns, and a lot of unregistered, formerly registered guns that have had the numbers scratched.
He even
off.
tried to
Mostly
sell
guns.
me
Twice
on
removed.
the black market, but no one would buy me because I'm too,
I didn't buy
I'm too
them.
used.
I
We're
didn't
also
buy them.
very expensive is the problem.
Oh
but
God, no! He was
And
50
I'm
cents
worth
a
it.
minute.
You get what you pay for.
I can prolapse on command.
Just stop there.
Why did I think prolapse? I know what prolapse is, but when you
think
said
that happens
prolapse,
in your butt.
Prolapse sounds like the name
What
of
is
like
it?
an
Explain it to
antidepressant
me.
or something.
I'll explain the prolapse. So, the prolapse is when the walls and the lining of your asshole.
I'm gonna stop you there.
noose.
I've already bleeped you
when they
in
come
the
out.
edit.
No. We don't have to
come out?
Just keep it like
Jimmy,
beep beep.
it's
beep,
where it
beep,
comes
beep.
out.
It's when you're.
So you've got basically like a poop, but it's just your innards. You don't have to bleep any of this,
Yeah,
but
that's what I was-
don't
yeah.
mute me though. I
Okay.
want the
Yeah.
world to know what a prolapse is, and everyone already knows.
Oh.
I've already shown my prolapse.
And honestly,
anus.
the pot.
I live streamed it.
If the pot. So should we read the first sponsor?
Yes.
Okay, so where is it?
Before we get started, I challenge you to do this in one take.
There's no way, but I'll definitely try.
I trust
got
you.
it.
I believe in you.
Thank you so much to Vincero for sponsoring this podcast. I'm actually wearing my beautiful Vincero watch right now, which I'll talk about more. This one's Steve's. I left mine at home, but Steve's is pretty cool too.
Wow, no Joshin. That's a very nice watch.
beautiful.
Yeah, no, Josh.
Truly
Yeah,
is.
even-
Now,
Yeah.
to those watching, are you looking to increase your perceived success and wealth without paying a huge price tag? Vincero has a modern and contemporary style that looks bold and professional. Get the watch built for a boss. It's time to step up your game and stand out. A luxury watch does not have to cost a fortune, and you'll see why when you check out Vincero right here,
There
baby.
it is. Bling bling.
Every watch is manufactured and quality checked by hand before being shipped out to you, the consumer. This is the kind of attention to detail and dedication to quality typically only seen with luxury watch brands over $500, while Vincero watches start at only a little over $100 for this beauty right here.
Oh, that's great.
That's unbelievable too, because those are very stylish.
They truly are. This
Yeah.
one here
They
actually
hold up too.
Wow.
I mean,
This one
Yeah.
here's amazing because it's got that like big white face and it's like a rose gold on all the like little details. And
I
the-
have so much.
the
We
thing.
should get
fun with
one for
that
my
watch.
brother. He's going to be a dad soon. So
We'll give him this one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. He'll have dad watch.
Lightly
Yeah.
used. And I love the brown leather strap. Steve's is actually the nicest one. Mine's black and a little skinnier, which I like because I don't like having a giant one on me, but I like having a smaller one. So they have big ones like this for those that want that massive, beautiful rock on your wrist. And then they have kind of sleeker ones, which I
Yeah,
like as
that's
well.
great.
That's dope.
I like the big ones.
With over 6,500 5-star reviews and a 2-year warranty, you can shop with confidence.
2 years that's great.
2-year warranty.
So you got to check these bad boys out. I know you'll love their watches just as much as all of us here do. You can go to vincerocollective.com/pine35. That's vincerocollective.com/pine35 and enter promo code PINE. Just Pine.
Just Pine.
Enter promo code PINE to get 15% off your entire order. Whatever you order, 15% off, baby. Don't blend in. Stand out. Get a Vincero watch at https://vincerowatches.com/pine35. Thank you to Vincero.
Thank you,
We love
Vincero.
Kim, that was
great.
amazing.
That was pretty
great.
phenomenal.
Thank you.
actually.
For some reason, I'm not like stressed out at all. I just wanted to be confident with it.
You
and-
gotta you gotta carry
great.
yourself.
The challenge actually really helps, and I think you know that. That's why, like, I challenge you to do it in one
Well,
take.
it was like Steve last week. I was like, you just go into it. You'll feel better. About
Every
it.
time you have to challenge us, and we'll be able to do it.
Every room you walk into, kick down the door, and everyone will look at you. They're like, I respect myself, so they do.
So, but if you're going into an audition and you kick down the door, they're immediately like, "Oh fuck, don't
I
kick that door."
immediately
Christ,
start
you have
peeing in
problems.
the middle of the room. Like, this is my room. I respect me in the way I am.
Like
So-
in The Office when Pam like vandalizes the elevator and gets her and Dwight stuck in the elevator, and then he immediately starts peeing in the corner.
Oh yeah.
We have to establish a pee corner. We've been here for 15 seconds. I have 56 ounces of liquid in my bladder.
so specific.
56 ounces? Come on.
Well, yeah, we let's check out the first topic of the day, which is
Something pretty interesting.
Well, we
Yeah.
could start off. Do you guys want to start off with just like shit that you've been watching, enjoying, things you've been doing,
Sure,
any
let's
fun
go with
things?
that first off.
Let's start off on Jamie. We'll move around the clock.
Okay, I've been watching a lot of
All right, and Mimi's turn.
myself be crushed by James. I'm watching that a lot. No, I've been watching Nakey Jakey. Have you guys seen this?
No, what's Naked Jakey?
Nakey Jakey is this dude on YouTube who just kind of he started off doing witty commentary on video games and video essay sort of things. With every once in a while, he'd throw in a rap about the game, which was always hilarious.
Well, that's fun. Like Dan Bull?
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar.
Forget about it.
Yeah, but he recently discovered his format, and it's fucking hysterical. Which is just him sitting in front of a green screen on a medicine ball and just talking directly to the camera. And there's something about it where he's just like bouncing around, like taking a shit on games.
That
or
is fun.
Taking a shit on the ball.
Yeah, just in the middle of the room, owning the room right away. But no, that stuff is wonderful. And then my favorite murder podcast. I've been listening to that.
Which one's that?
Nonstop. It's these two comedians who are just delightful.
Awesome.
They kind of
Who are they?
Karen Kilgariff and
Georgia Hartstark. Yeah, and they're
I've heard of that one.
It's so good.
It's I saw it in I was waiting in a waiting room, and I was reading because all the magazines were like shitty. So there's one, and it was talking about podcasts. I don't have to continue talking.
But it's great. It's great.
It's really good.
What about you, Mimi? What have you been up to? What have you been doing, enjoying?
I found a podcast called Bad with Money with Gabby Dunn. And I just realized that like I have not paid attention to my finances for my entire life.
Yep.
And like I don't know what to do with money if I have it. I don't know what to do when I don't have money. And so I found this podcast. It's super feminist. It kind of really explores like the difference between like saving as a person of color and as a white person and as a trans person and as an LG.
There's like actual notable differences.
Yes, there are
thought
differences
about-
in the way that like, well, I mean, there's not different ways to say, but it talks about how like, women are paid less than men, but women of color are paid less than white women. Like, it's really interesting. And it's also got me in the mindset of like, okay, I got to have a 401k, which I don't really understand what that is right now, but I'm learning. And
You
like,
and me both, sister.
Oh yeah.
like these are important things, and it's great, and it's the awesome woman who does the podcast is super great, and I think it's actually something that everybody should look into. And if you're 18 right now going, oh, I don't have to worry about that, like get a 401k, shut up now, so that you can retire when you're 45.
Oh, I know what a 401k
and
is.
be fucking awesome.
You know what's funny about that is even though I might have the world at my oysters,
Maybe eating oysters in our world today.
sitting right in front of your oysters.
being a white guy, right? Everything,
oysters are itchy.
everything should be set up. Terrible with money. I've been getting better though.
Listen to Bad with Money, and
No.
you might get better with it.
You know what?
I'm a visual
ads.
learner. I can't listen to things and retain it.
You might
Okay.
benefit from this. I know I did for a while, and then I deleted it because I didn't have money, so I didn't have any reason for it. But I had an
I
app.
deleted my money.
I had an app called Mint. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
It's for investing, right?
No, this app literally.
So I'm thinking of anything else.
This like it lays out. You put how much money you have, how much money you want to save, how much you want to spend on coffee, rent, but like specifically, and then it'll like connect to your to your bank account, and like you'll know. So if you spent too much, you'll be like, hey, you're already at 50% of your coffee spendings
It'll
for the
give you, like, a
month.
notification or something?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
everything. It'll be like, hey,
Warning.
you saved
Warning.
more this month.
Yeah, there's Mint, and then also Clarity is a really good
Oh.
one too. It does the same thing, and yeah,
I'll definitely be using that
helpful.
when I'm like a full employee here.
It's
for
a hard
sure.
thing because like money's a very emotional thing too. It's like, and that's another.
You
thing.
literally feel
Yeah.
good and powerful and happy when you
Right.
have savings and money, and then when you don't, you feel like a fucking loser.
Yeah, like leading up to before I
Me my
get
whole
my
life.
paycheck, I'm like, all right, I've got like this much left, and I'm getting paid this day.
I can't fucking live like this, man.
But I'm very, and I got to get better at this. I'm very impulsive with things that I want to buy.
Oh, yeah, same.
And like I'm into like clothes and shoes and stuff, and I like to buy stuff like that. Like
Well, that makes you feel good too. So
Yeah,
it's
it
like
does.
I'm investing in
That's
my
an investment in you.
emotional-
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's really
I think
important.
it-
Like not to be
definitely think it's
materialistic,
important.
just being like, oh, I have all this money, I'm just gonna buy 100 pairs of shoes, and just because I can, like that's one thing. But like being like, oh, these are dope. Like I want to get these to go with all this, and like yeah, it's very important to like.
It's an investment in yourself.
Yeah.
I think that it comes down to this. Not everyone can afford it, and not everyone feels the same way. But I think for a lot of people, including myself and a lot of us here, it's like if you look good, you feel good, and sometimes when you've worn the same clothes for a while, even if they're cool clothes, you don't feel cool in them anymore. So
Right.
buying a new jacket that makes you feel good and feel confident, I find I feel better, more motivated, more happy. So like, if that makes me materialistic, then fuck me, right? But like. I don't spend all my money on clothes, but once in a while,
Yeah.
feel good to look good, fucking feel my nuts.
Well, they
look great.
I'll try my best. No, we actually did this last week. We like had a day where we were just like we're gonna go find work clothes.
We did, but we did it. We went to Marshalls, and we went to Uniqlo and
Gucky.
H&M. And
I love
we,
H&M.
we got stuff that was affordable, but it's stuff that like I'm gonna be able to wear to work and
Yeah.
feel like a
Feel
fucking
good.
confident,
Yeah, and it's
capable
also like
grown up.
everyone
Absolutely.
sees you a different way too when you're like you dressed for an
got the
occasion.
shirt.
It's like
I love that shirt.
this is my work clothes. It's gonna get worse from here. But it's
I love it, dude. I want a popsicle shirt.
thanks, man.
Marshalls.
It's
Oh,
cool, like
I'm gonna get the same
working
one.
the type of thing that we do. We can wear whatever we want, you know, and like really express our style. Like working, like
Yeah.
Lauren works in like a very corporate type of place, so she has to wear fancier kind of business clothes, like not like suits and stuff, but just more a little bit more like
Yeah.
classy stuff as like, you know, what you would do at like corporate and shit. And I'm very thankful that like we work in a thing where we can wear whatever we want, you know, still look good and still like be clean and stuff like that, but like we don't have to worry about like, which suit am I going to wear today or something,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Sammy Jo and I
Blair's-
were talking about that last night because she works at a place where she can literally wear almost pajamas if she wants to, which like she calls leggings and a sweatshirt pajamas, which are not pajamas at all. She's like, but I slept in them. They're still not pajamas.
I slept in a
Cutest thing in the
suit.
world. But she was like, I would if I work somewhere else, like a more. She's afraid that if she ever worked at somewhere else in a more corporate place, that she wouldn't be able to. And it's so important to her to be able to just like wear whatever she wants.
Yeah, and be comfortable.
So she had to wear like a fucking suit and a jacket or something like that. She'd be like, you know what I mean? So
She'd
yeah.
be like, no.
So yeah, let's all spend money on clothes.
I mean, it's just it's especially in an environment like this where like there isn't really a separation from your business life and your personal life. I
No.
think there at times it is good to kind of say like, okay, I'm going to have my professionalism delegated for this moment of my week or
Yeah.
whatever. And then for us, it was like, you know, we want to make sure that we're like putting ourselves in business mode when we're there and that sort of thing too. But that's actually we have a new thing we're going to start doing for the podcast if with you guys' blessing, where we're going to post on the Sugar Pine 7 subreddit, and it's going to be just ask us whatever you want to know, whatever you're feeling, what have you learned, you know, just to kind of like share stuff with us. And that was actually one of the questions.
But we still have two more. We've two more to go around the table for what we're doing this week.
But
Yes.
real quick, you have my blessing for that.
As well, you have mine, and my blessing is fucking rare.
Expensive.
I would just watch the episode of It's All.
I don't even agree with his relationship. I have not given them my blessing yet.
It's true.
James, step up.
That's true.
They're getting there.
He keeps trying
Between
to get
him
me to
and
date.
Vinny or him and Lauren?
Lauren and Vinny. It's a sexual relationship.
But he considers it my relationship that I've made.
have.
Speaking of like blessings, remember the episode of It's Always Sunny where the stain looks like the Virgin Mary?
Oh
in the
my
office?
god! And then they have people come look at it and
And
pay to see it.
and like I love it's so funny like their characters 'cause I love how Mac is always like the one who's like trying to assert himself as a thing, but then either Charlie or Dennis are like,
Can
no,
I tell you
I'm gonna do
something?
that.
Can I
no.
tell you something about Mac?
What?
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Will you care?
No.
I know what he's gonna
Don't
say.
tell me. He gets really fat.
No. Yes, but it's something else.
I know what he's gonna say.
I'll just say one thing.
I'm nervous.
There's a point in which you will question Mac's sexuality. That's all I'm gonna
not
say.
what I thought you were
Oh,
gonna
that's
say.
awesome.
That's
At
all
all.
I'm
That's
gonna
funny,
say.
though. I mean, that's like kind of the entire show. There's like
Well,
always
that's great.
questioning and
His
like
thing is like manliness and stuff. So I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
gotten
I
that
can't
far,
wait for
but-
you to.
I love that him and Caitlin Olsen are a couple,
Yeah.
like a great couple for like a long time.
They are. But
That's
real quick,
amazing.
let's dive into what you've been watching.
What's-
what you've
what
been
you up to?
what you've
Yeah,
been
I'm
doing.
sorry I interrupted.
Doing
No,
No,
anything
it's all
fun?
good. Don't worry about it. Let's see. I finished not Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul. Got you
I'm
on that.
almost there. I'm
God,
almost
it's
there,
so
yeah.
good. Such an amazing show. I'm so excited for season
A
4.
little
Like,
slower near the middle.
We
This
gotta
first
watch.
season.
just trust me, man. Like,
Yes.
it's one of those things where I am just invested in those characters as I was everyone in Breaking Bad. It's
Wow.
so good. I love the way that the first 3 episodes of Better Call Saul have a very Breaking Bad kind of feel, but then it starts to move away from that. You know, because it's bringing in all
It's
those
almost
people.
like more crime, murder, mystery.
It's
than
it's a
Breaking
straight
Bad
up
is.
drama. Like Breaking Bad is a crime
Comedy.
thriller. I wouldn't say comedy outright. It has
It's got-
it has
it's-
the type of
it's a pretty
comedy that's
strong-
like real
Like
life
a
comedy.
dark comedy, if anything.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's like it's
I mean,
more
it's an
like
aspect, for sure.
realistic, like situational comedy of just like interactions and stuff like that. You
Right.
know, versus like ha 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 ha. Like the things that are funny that might happen are like more like just impulsive, like when Walt throws the pizza on the roof or something. Like
Right.
you know, it's like funny, but also like it fits perfectly.
Yeah. I call that great writing because there's so
Oh, it's
much,
amazing,
so
dude,
much
the writing
comedy
in
in it. You're right. It's not a comedy, but there's
Yeah.
so much funny shit in it that
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
phenomenal writing. It's
And what
the
I
best show
what I
ever
love
made.
too about Better Call Saul is that like Saul got kind of like set up as like in a way the comedic relief in Breaking
Oh,
Bad.
yeah.
And Bob Odenkirk's obviously a legend. He's so
Dude.
funny.
Yeah.
I just
so
watched
talented.
I think with Chris Farley and who's the David Spade in Chris Farley's house. Because I
which
just wanted to see.
Is that Black Sheep or
No, it
David
was just a little
Black
bit
Sheep. Or,
for
Tommy Boy?
MTV
Oh,
or
is it- is
something.
it it?
Yeah, exactly. Like I love Bob Odenkirk because of his relationship with like the fucking legend Chris Farley. But sorry, anyways, what have you been doing this week?
Yeah, he's definitely from that like 90s era of like classic comedians and like
It's amazing how he's changed.
Yeah, he's just so, he's one of those people that just can command the screen even when he's not playing a main or even a commanding type of role.
A lot of comedians have that kind of power more than, I mean, it's harder. It's just harder. You have to know what you're doing a lot more than drama.
Like, one of the biggest things that I think was amazing was when Steve Carell did Foxcatcher.
Oh my God.
That movie's fucking great.
I don't know why comedy is so written off.
One of my best friends is married to the son that his dad was the guy that got killed.
What's his name? Greg.
That Mark
Greg
Ruffalo
something.
played.
Yeah.
Johnny Blue Balls.
And they're really good friends with the family. With Mark
Unfortunate
Ruffalo
name.
now. Yeah.
Wow.
High school was
not
hard.
with the DuPont
Blue
family.
Balls are bad. Yeah.
No.
DuPonts, yeah.
But what have you been doing? What have you been up to? What's been fun for you?
Yeah, I'm talking about it.
I want to know what you've been doing.
I got a question. What have you been doing? What have you been up to? What's fun
Sure. So basically, well, I've been running and kind of making a point to eat
You look
healthier,
great.
and yeah, I think I've been like slimming down a little bit, which
You're
I'm
glowing.
really, huh?
You're glowing.
Are you fucking pregnant?
Yeah,
Ooh.
6 tuplets, 6 Tupperware.
Did you get his blessing?
Nah, but
Is it puppies?
what the fuck is this?
Oh no, not again.
So, that makes you feel good. That makes you feel good when you start to like get in shape and see a little bit of results. I'm not like on any sort of regimen or anything. I'm just trying to eat healthier and maybe not, if I do eat something shittier, not eat as much of it. Like I had Burger King yesterday for lunch and I only ate like a quarter of the fries, which I consider a big thing.
That's good.
I used to eat like
Willpower
a fucking
is good.
like a $5 box from Taco Bell plus 2 more things.
Dude,
the entire thing.
we would do that together.
Yeah, fucking yucky
was it you?
papa.
Was it you when I stayed at the office one night?
Yeah, we stayed late and we were eating it, and then afterwards we were like, we got a headache and then almost fell asleep because of the headache.
The $5 box.
Yeah.
But what else have I been doing? Music. I've been writing a lot of music.
Yeah, James been writing.
And
a lot.
I am fucking stoked on that because that's been something that I've been trying to like get my mindset into for a long time. And it's just, I've been doing a little bit here and there, blah, blah, blah. But like, finally, I feel like I'm kind of getting onto a role of like what kind of style I'm going to be doing. A lot of hip hop.
That's great.
And like finding my voice in that and being okay with like what I'm expressing and how I'm expressing it and like wanting to experiment with like singing more and stuff like that, even though I don't think I have a good voice, but working on it is like the first step. So I've been writing some music, listening to a lot of good music.
Having a blast.
Having a blast, man. It's about it. You got to enjoy yourself. You got to find like life's never always okay. Life's never perfect. You'll always have things that get you down and depressed, but the only thing that you can do is fill your life with things that make you happy.
Yeah.
Like there might be a terrible thing going on right here and acknowledge that and feel it, but also if you can't do anything about it, don't live in it because you're kind of creating like your own mental prison.
I have a hard time with that. Yeah.
And I do too. I do. But I feel like I've been getting better at just being like, that's going to be that way until it's not. And until then, I can only focus on things that I can change and can improve on. And so, and like, writing with the show and like all the stuff that we've been shooting, which has been super cinematic. And like, that's so fulfilling to do. The music that I'm writing, it's like, things are cool.
I'm so excited for the next alternative lifestyle.
It's gonna be fucking cool.
There was some like the gags in there are money.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, dude.
I'm just hoping that, you're
doing a great job
And
with
we've
it.
talked about, thank you, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this, the feeling of making something a lot more well produced that takes a lot more time and creative juices and money and time and blah, blah, but like putting that out there and us being so proud of it because we made it, and then it not doing as well view wise,
Yeah, it just feels underappreciated.
Yeah, but in it,
that's okay.
It's not even necessarily underappreciated because like, I don't think that views reflect how good something is.
No.
And I think
No, it
that
doesn't.
that's-
But underappreciated doesn't also reflect how good it is.
right.
Yeah. And what a blessing that like we get to come to work and get paid to make that.
creative.
You get to
Yeah.
play.
It's so great.
Yeah.
And
It's
just
so
the,
great.
just the doing is humongous because I have always had a hard time. I've talked about this before, but like the follow through is really difficult.
Yeah, it's cool how this like forces us to create because when you're a creative person and an artist,
we write, we shoot,
we
we finish it.
The
we
main
put it
thing
out.
with like artists and creative people is every creative person is very creative and has all these ideas, but like I think a lot of creative people don't have that like thing in us that makes us actually do it. So
Yeah.
when you overcome that and you do it, and especially being forced to do it every day, and force sounds bad, but it does because we have to because it's our job. It like you get over that hump and then you're doing it and then you're constantly like, oh fuck yeah, we've done something.
Well, I think there's something to being a creative person that unfortunately creates a lot of creates a lot of mental stuff. I think in order to be creative, there's a lot of stuff that
emotional
has to bring you there. That
Yeah.
that kind of makes you a little more expressive. And it, unfortunately, for a while before we got together, I dated an actress, and I was like, never again. I was like, I'll never date another actress, because like we're what's going on?
You're dating one dude.
Well,
an
that's
actress.
that speaks very highly of how she changed my entire life, because it was
True.
like, okay, an actress, but she's fucking great.
Wait, are
and I
you
wanna
saying
stay
he's
here.
not an actress?
Wait, are you
Have
saying
been
that-
pulling a fast one over
Wait,
us?
Mimi, are you saying that Jamie's not an actress?
Am
No,
I an
I just
actress?
didn't-
Did Clay get your
who
blessing
is-
for me to be an actress?
Who came
I haven't
before
given it
me
yet.
that was an act? I'm just.
Jennifer Love Huge Tits.
Love huge tits. Dude.
I think that's a Family Guy joke.
Oh, is it?
Actually, no. Cut that out. It's an original joke.
Original James
cut it out. It's an
DeAngelis.
original joke.
Leave it all in.
But no, I had been like, I am emotional. I am an emotional mess. The combination of two people that just like this, it's like it's throwing a gasoline into a tornado and lighting it up.
But you know what I find, like, this is mushy, but for me, like, when I'm stressed about work and just what's going on and success in life and everything, I still find, like, when that all goes away is like when I go home to Sam and Joe and like we just like are cuddling for the first 10-20 minutes of like seeing each other. I'm not trying to like make it sound perfect or anything, but like then I just go, oh, this is what I love the most.
Right.
And then you're like, you just feel good about that. Then you're like, it kind of gives me motivation to like want to feel good about everything that stresses me as well. So you're like, oh, that's right. This is what life is.
You realize
as well.
that you have a lot to be thankful
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have a
Yeah.
lot more going on that like you don't have to just
Same.
like try to not allow yourself to be stressed about what's going on, because like that does pass. And like imagine 5 years from now, you're gonna like, if I had tried to not stress about what I was stressing about for the past 5 years, because now I'm in this place and maybe you're good 5 years from now, but you're like, I could have chose to be less stressed and enjoyed the past 5 years a little more than I did.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
there's for me, I had a long period of letting work validate who I was and my
Oh,
self-worth.
you can't
And
not
that's-
though, because like especially with what we're doing, I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of other,
immediate return and
Right.
and it's about
opinion.
like it's not just a scripted show. So like everything we do is us with blahs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So like the success of it does reflect,
Right.
you know, how we feel about ourselves.
Right, we
unfortunately.
spoke a little bit about
Yeah.
this, but it's like once we got together and I realized the important shit, it was like, and it took me a while. I was very resistant to being like, no, my priorities work. This is who I am.
I broke him eventually.
And I think that
You-
in this
you helped
industry,
me.
though, especially with like actors and like working in the entertainment industry, that's a very common and promoted mindset is be like,
Yeah.
and especially towards women too, like you need to make your career before you have a family, or like if you have a family at a younger age, you're never going to make your career type
Right.
of thing. And so, and on the other side of that with guys, like, and the whole idea of like age too, and like how your age reflects.
It's a fucking ticking time bomb until you can't do
and
it
like
anymore.
making it at a younger age, then you're better than people later on. But I've been, and I'm 23. Like that type of thing shouldn't even be on my brain or ever. But like you look at people who never like made it until they were in their 40s or 50s, and they're some of the most talented people ever.
Right.
Morgan Freeman,
Doesn't that
Brian
give you hope,
Cranston.
too?
Yes,
Doesn't it-
absolutely.
I
And
thought
it's
about that
changing
yesterday.
changing your perspective and like, this is my learning time.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and I had this kind of revelation like 9 months ago or like 6 months ago, where like life is about the journey and the experience. If you always have that goal and that dream you're trying to chase, but don't rush it, because once you're there and you've achieved that dream, you're there and you've achieved it. And then there's still more to experience, but like
Yeah.
the idea of chasing a passionate dream like that is like, I see it as the purpose of life is chasing a dream, you know? And the entire experience and journey to that point is what life is.
It's also like, what are you doing it for? You
Yeah.
know? And for me,
I think the answer to that is happiness. But
well, I thought for the longest
it's different
time,
for everyone.
this
Yeah.
is my happiness. This is where I would get everything I want, to have money and people look at me and respect me. And I mean, that's why I got into acting, was because it was the first time somebody had respected me, was
Yeah.
when I did something that I people thought I was good at. And I think I had just been so stuck in like, this is who I am. This is what I need to be 100% who I want to be, that when I found the thing that actually did make my life worthwhile, I was like, I don't know though, because I've already invested so much into this and it took me so long. I think, the last year and a half especially has just been kind of like resetting my priorities and becoming the kind of person who can focus on making myself worthwhile instead of letting other people make my monetary existence worthwhile.
Yeah.
And so thank you.
Yeah. You guys want to hear about my week?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
What are you
I just
into?
want to say one last
Sure.
thing on this.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's really cool that we're. Oh, I love you guys. I
Yeah,
think
me
it's
too.
cool that.
Do we have your blessing?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever.
I think it's really cool that we all are in very like good relationships. You know,
Yeah.
it's a cool thing that we're all able to experience and be loved, not just by one another, but by somebody like intimately and romantically, because I think that adds so much to like how you feel about yourself. Like, and my relationship with Lauren, like, she's my absolute best friend, and we've been together so long that like she's becoming one of my oldest friends, you know, like that I still am in contact with directly and like very, you know, like all the time. And having like that balance to my life and my perspective, she's taught me to be more sensitive and thoughtful. And because like everyone's emotional at times, but it's how you express that emotion. Like I'm a bit more reactionary or impulsive. And she's a bit more thoughtful in it and will like think on it longer before she makes her, you know, she voices it or whatever.
I think we all found our yin to our yang with that, because you were saying the same things with Sammy Joe, and like it's just funny that our personality types were like so chaotic, and we found these women who were like, well, maybe chill.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
just,
exactly
it's
here.
a beautiful thing. That's all I was going to say. I love you, Lauren.
I love you guys, man. I love you,
I
Sam
love
and
you
Joe.
too.
Steve, you're just okay. I'm just kidding, man. I love you.
Steve, you fucking stink, dude.
You fucking stink like shit always. But
What you been up to this week, Kibbles?
what have I been up to? Not too much, minus the birthday stuff. But I had a
Happy
really cool.
birthday.
Thanks, guys. I'm 23, which is so weird. It's like I know it's so weird to like.
Oh, you're
be
so
older.
young.
23 feels like, oh shit. Now I'm older. I gotta start getting my shit
No,
together.
don't. We just walked into another
You're right.
conversation.
I know,
But, then
but
also, what else did we just walk into? How age doesn't
matter. Doesn't
True.
matter. Doesn't define
age
who
doesn't
you are.
matter unless you're under the age dating someone over the age.
In which case, it's pretty.
Then you're
fucking cool.
fucked. Then it's pretty cool. But so we had that birthday thing, which was so awesome. Thank you guys so much for all of that.
Thank
That
you
was
for letting us
incredible.
That was
celebrate
really
with you.
special.
They got me a
It was
cake.
great.
We've destroyed it. It's just a big
God,
pile
I
of.
It was the ugliest cake. I'll put a
was
picture
shit
in.
brown.
It was just the
Oh,
worst.
it looked
and
like
it
the
said,
poop emoji.
Embryo, y'all. I fucking
Dude, that
loved it.
fucking cake though, like the
so good.
frosting was so thick, and it literally
Hard.
looked like it was delicious, and it was
delicious.
the perfect cake. It's just so funny, and especially your guys' story about like the whole experience. It was just like shit brown color. It was so funny.
I loved
I
it,
was
man.
so
I fucking
mad.
loved it. And we had that dinner. That was so much fun. We filmed a lot of it. I think it turned out pretty funny. I don't know yet, but I
Oh yeah,
see.
I wrote narration to it.
Yeah, was it
Good.
funny? You see it?
I was reading through that. That shit's
Is
hilarious.
it on YouTube Unlisted?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
It'll be up by the time this comes up, right? Like
No,
it's-
maybe not.
Maybe a year
I don't
after.
think so.
I think
okay,
a year
yeah,
or so
next
after.
year. Yeah.
20 years.
But so we did that, and then on my actual birthday, the 18th, which was like Wednesday, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Day before yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Sammy Joe surprised me and brought me out to like this overlook on Mulholland, where we like one time went out and just had like a little hangout there at night and just like looked out over LA. And she brought me there, and she had
Did
her
she
mom
kiss you?
overnight. We haven't kissed yet. Don't
Oh,
push
okay.
it. She had her mom overnight homemade from scratch mac and cheese and Jewish oh shit, what's that meat? It's not pulled pork, but it's the beef version of it. Brisket, homemade like
Oh,
Jewish
dude,
brisket. So I had like
brisket.
onion and this sweet sauce, and it tasted totally different than like Texas stuff. But
Yeah.
overnighted it. She brought it out, brought a candle out. We had a little picnic
That's
at night.
awesome.
It was so fun,
Dude,
She's
that's great.
amazing.
That's
yeah.
special, man.
It was so fun. So that was like the good birthday night, and then we saw a movie on Sunday. What did we see? Oh, we saw Blockers. You guys? It was actually really good.
Is that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was actually really good. I'm not a big fan of who was in it. It was not The Rock.
Oh, John Cena.
I love
John Cena, man, he was not bad in it, but like I still didn't love his acting in it. But it was actually a really funny
John
movie.
Cena because of my WWE days.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, I was in the WWE, so I know how
Yeah.
you feel. But
that used to be one of my dreams. Was to
I've been
be in
watching.
WWE.
Oh, really? You want to be in WWE?
When I was in like 2007 and 8, when I was like really into it, I was like, I want to do it. That's what made me join the wrestling team in high school, and then I just stopped watching WWE because I naturally just like stopped.
Yeah.
What was your WWE name? Clit. Bing fuck.
Oh,
Clit. Clit. Bing fuck.
It was gonna be James Cena.
James Cena.
original.
James Senior.
I like it.
Senior.
Senior.
James Senior. John Cena Senior.
Oh my god.
But we did that. I've been watching the show Love for the second time with Sammy Jo, and it's finally a show that she really loves that I love. Love is so good. You guys got to watch it. Like fucking Bobby Lee's in it, and he's a really hilarious role in that.
I like
Not a big
Bobby.
fan of watching things.
Yeah, I know you don't like shows, but
Yeah.
you guys should check out Love. It's really good. And that's been the week, just living it. You know what I mean? But
That's
it's been
dope,
a
man.
pretty fun week. We did that beach day thing as well on Saturday. Was it Saturday? That was fun. We all went to the beach and we just like hung out and.
You're
touched
investing
dicks.
time in yourself. That's like
Yeah.
that's like the theme.
That's like a really important thing for me on the weekends to like make sure I like go do at least one day go do something with Sammy Jo, because like you have to.
Yeah.
Because if you get into this like, I mean, it's still every night's amazing too, but like you don't want to just like have every night just go by and then you didn't like experience anything other than like your after work hangout, which is still great too. I
Yeah.
love that so much.
Oh,
I
yeah.
cherish it, but like it's nice to go do something and like experience shit.
Yeah, one thing I'm not really looking forward to, like for me right now, it's.
Sorry about this at your leg.
I'm so lucky that I only live 15 minutes from the office, but that's going to change very soon. It is going to be more like 45.
And then I'll be
minutes.
15 minutes from
Yeah,
the office.
but like, you just lose so much time with traffic, especially in LA. It's just like
Yeah.
takes so much time out of the day. You got to leave earlier, you get home later, and it's just like that's what was affecting Lauren so much at our old apartment because we lived in Koreatown,
Right.
and her works in Aurora Hills, and she was, an hour and a half coming home, possibly 2 hours in traffic.
God, dude.
Man.
And that like was breaking her.
Mimi had a
Yeah.
commute like that.
Well, that's why. So we moved from West Hollywood to Echo Park for my night job, and then right after we moved, you guys were like, "We're moving to Culver City."
Did you
I
guys
was
move
like,
for this
"Oh,
office too?
Fuck.
It was a big
It was a
contributing reason.
part
Oh,
of the
no.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh well." But you know what? Echo Park, the move has been amazing.
It makes
love
such a
it.
Really, it's
difference
been
to
good?
be happy
Yeah.
where you live.
Yeah.
Place. I love your guys' place.
Thanks.
And being right next to the park, like that's
Yeah.
so cool.
Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
That's like a very like
central. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That's
just
the word.
nice to. I mean, because
It's
like
great. I love our neighborhood. We have 3 neighbors, and they're all. It's like a community. Like
it's got like Echo Park and like Silver Lake area. I
love
love because
Silver
there's
Lake.
such like it's got such character and everything.
Yeah,
It's not just
that's
like
what I love about
it's
it.
not just like cookie cutter. Like I'm living in the suburbs now, kind of, and like, but it's still really nice because it's quieter and like living in Koreatown, it's just like always fucking loud and dirty and shit.
But you're
so
saying you missed a bit of the
I miss
hustle and
the
bustle
city.
of-
I mean, like I always loved the city. Like living in San Francisco for 4 years, like I loved the city feel of that. Like
Yeah.
living so close to
miss
such a
that.
big city.
You fucking city slicker.
But like still close. I mean, the valley is
Right.
still like very built up and it's close to LA and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'd ever live in LA again. If I did, it would be like maybe just like in the hills of Beverly Hills, you know.
yeah.
B Hills, baby.
It's-
I mean, Brentwood, excuse me. It's pretty fucking tight there, man. It's a nice little area there. Walk out down at fucking nighttime and stuff. Like only one homeless person in Brentwood, and he's fucked. He's right near us. So I can always just throw it up in a fucking trash can. I walk out, I'm like, hey, you fucking throw it somewhere else? No, it was one time.
Oh god.
I never said a word to him.
So we're coming.
It was so weird. Okay, but he was like, this homeless guy one time. We're like pulling out of the like right beside he's to the right of us, right beside, and it looked like he was overthrowing up. Like I saw something going in, like it looked like it was coming out of his mouth. But then when we look back, he's fucking just taking shit out of there. And I was like, what is?
Turns out he was sucking up throw up.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make fun of him. Obviously, I'm making light of the situation because why not? But I'm just curious what he was actually doing.
you can make a lot of money by taking like cans and bottles.
Yeah,
Like you
there's
can
a
make,
car that sits right on our
Yeah.
street, and it's full of bottles, full. Like you can see all the way up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
the person doesn't live in there because they're not in there ever. I've
No,
seen it so
yeah.
many times, but like, what are you gonna do? When are you gonna
But
cash those
when
bottles in?
when you go to the store and you purchase something that comes in a plastic or a glass bottle,
It's like a quarter,
there'll be a
10
little
cents, right?
Yeah, they'll take a deposit from you, 5 cents to like the big glass milk jugs. There's like a $2 deposit, I think,
Yeah.
on that. So if you take them back, they'll give you that cash right away.
When I lived with my
Yeah.
alcoholic stepdad back in the day, we used to bring all his beer bottles in and cash in a good $10-20 check.
Yeah.
And then you'd buy more beer with it.
He was helpful.
Then you'd take that from
was
us
a
and buy
cir-
more
it was a
beer
cycle.
with it. It was very exciting.
Yeah.
So very exciting.
All right. We're jumping in on our next sponsor challenge. James, can
You
you
can
do
do
it
it.
in one take?
I seem to have thought that I might. All right.
And you will.
Thank you to our second sponsor for today's episode of Beyond the Pine, Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post is
It's okay. It's okay. I believe
sorry,
in
there's a long pause.
Oh, it's just a like dramatic beat.
Bespoke Post is a subscription club that offers monthly themed boxes curated from unique and upcoming brands around the world. There's a wide variety of box themes. There's style, grooming, cooking, drinking, travel. They cover all the bases.
Do you want to wrap it?
I can't read. No.
You got this, man.
No, I don't at all. No, I don't at all. Okay.
No.
Come on.
There are no commitments. They tell you what box you're assigned on the first of each month, and you have 5 days to keep it, switch it, or skip it. Visit bespokepost.com and answer a few short questions that will help them gauge your interests and get a feel for the box that'll vibe with your style. Each subscription box goes for only $45 with more than $70 worth of goods inside. That's an amazing deal.
Yeah,
Ooh, hot
that
They're hooking
actually
it
is.
up.
Yeah, boy.
To receive 20% off your first subscription box, go to bespokepost.com and enter promo code PINE at checkout. That's 20% off your first box at BESPOKE post.com. Promo code PINE.
Pine.
Bespoke Post. Themed boxes for guys who give a damn. Some of the cool things, I was on their website earlier today. Some of the really cool things that I saw on there that I'm stoked about is, they've got things from great stylish clothes, a lot of different styles. They got sweatshirts, pants, stuff like that. They've also got small furniture pieces and kind of decorative knickknacks and accessories that you can really use to express your style and decorate your house with. And they've also got some really cool alcohol-based kits. With things like whiskey and bourbon, which is my favorite alcohol. I love a good bourbon and whiskey, and they've got cool kits on, cool glasses to serve it in, cool kits like that. So once again, we're going to say thank you to Bespoke Post for sponsoring this podcast, and to receive 20% off your first box, go to http://bespokepost.com and enter promo code PINE. Thank you so much, Bespoke Post.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bespoke.
Thanks,
We love
friends.
Is Bespoke Post related to Post Malone
Great job.
at all?
Bespoke Post Malone.
I thought I was going to do better.
Now,
No, that was great.
That was great.
I have something to admit to everyone. I actually had to fart the whole time we
You
were doing the
had
podcast. Had to.
So
didn't
past
want
tense, so you
to.
did.
Okay. Is there something you want to tell us about?
Well, when I let it out
When?
Did you?
just now, prior
Okay.
to saying it, yes,
I'm learning a lot.
a little bit of shit came out.
Oh no!
And
No!
I'm not proud of it, but what happens in the podcast
Today
stays
we're
in
talking
the,
about
in the
being proud of
podcast.
ourselves and putting self-worth in us.
It's just the shit in my pants argues otherwise.
You are not the shit in your pants.
But the shit is
Is
touching
you.
me.
The shit is you, though.
The shit is touching me, though.
Yeah, maybe you are the shit in your pants.
No,
It's rubbing and it's hot.
Yeah.
So we got a new segment. We're gonna jump
Who's
in.
fucking kicking me?
Sorry.
I'm playing fussy with you.
It was me.
We would love to. So we'll be honest with you guys. we just dove into our next segment, said a lot of great shit, and we lost the audio. So we're gonna try again.
It might have been the greatest shit ever said on any podcast ever.
It was spectacular.
It will be picked up on the camera audio, but it'll sound like this.
That's worth it was so good that it's worth following us all on Instagram at NotKib. So
What we were doing.
Follow all of us at Not Kib.
follow all of us here at NotKib.
account.
Yeah, that's the only one. What we're going to do is we're going to get into our next segment, which is something that's going to be a weekly thing. If you go on the subreddit for Sugar Pine 7, I'm going to post a weekly thread where you can ask your questions and comments and just your thoughts about anything, and we'll try our best to answer one or all of them. And since today we don't have a super ton of time, we're gonna go into this bad boy as fast as possible.
Do you want
and
to
see
have
what's
this
up.
one so you can watch the audio?
Yeah, let's do. Okay. Stand by.
Stand by your man.
Okay, Billy Apples, we're going to answer yours. I know this isn't really worded as a question, but I'm really interested in hearing about the differences in terms of production behind the scenes for alternative lifestyle, including the writing process and whatnot. Really interested in this field, and it's cool seeing you guys producing high-quality content on the level of something like a Netflix show that has tens of potentially hundreds of people working on it comparatively. Thanks.
Thank you, my dude. I'll talk about the writing, and James will talk about how it gets into action. So, the writing process is like super fun. I mean, it's all such a fun process, but it's really cool because it's the creative, like, you get excited about the whole project, where it all starts. So, for an episode, if we don't have an idea of, like, just complete scratch, someone will have an idea of, like, okay, we got to start an episode. What if we do this? And then we'll all get into a room covered in only dog shit and ass and just touch each other's dicks. Someone will have an idea. We'll all just throw in our ideas and kind of be like, let's go here. What if we do this? What if we do that? And then we're like, okay, write that down. So then someone will start writing them down, and by the end of that conversation, we'll have, where it starts, where it ends, jokes in between, just kind of bullet points of
we'll have like an
how the
outline
episode's
for it.
an outline how it's gonna play out. And then one of the writers, usually Steve or James, will take that and just write a script out of it. And then when that script's done, it gets sent to all of us again, and we all make our own changes. We write, change some of our lines if we feel it'd be better, or like, oh, I think we should do this. That doesn't really play that well, or whatever. And then that's done. So it's like there's usually two versions of the script, I would say.
Yeah.
Sometimes three.
Yeah.
And then that gets shipped out to everybody, sent out to all the emails, Mimi and Jamie, and then from there, what happens?
It's like a potluck of ideas.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
And then
so fun.
Then we pass it off to Jamie and Mimi, who are our official producers now. And you guys, you worry about locations, actors, budgets, props, scheduling. Jamie always sends out the call sheets, which is so helpful. So like we have that real feel of it's an actual little like production that we're going to do that has all the check marks checked, and then we get on set, and it's super cool because y'all have given me the opportunity to direct these cinematic stuff, and that's what I ultimately want to do, is be a director. And so being able to work on these stories that are so close to us, all of us, and like so close to our characters and that are fun to make, we get to experiment with different styles, doing more dramatic stuff, more actiony stuff, randomly throwing in like little horror things, and like, but mostly the comedy, it's so cool. We're all so passionate about it to get it done the best that we can, also the most efficiently that we can, and I think we've been getting better at that. And like, I love directing Jamie and John a lot because you guys are fucking phenomenal actors.
We love being directed by you.
I know.
I can tell I'm great.
Like when I'm articulating, whatever vision I'm trying to do, and I'm getting better at that, I'm growing and learning. You guys are right there to like get it, and like, or at least help me like get it out there, or be like, yeah, I think you mean this, and then do it. And I'm like, that's what or like if it wasn't quite what I planned, like you guys acted out, and I'm like, that fits so much better. And like working with John, he's got such great directing experience too, and so getting his input in scenes and like how you should block it and stuff like that, or even like easier ways to like cheat something or blah blah blah, like just the whole, like, it's cool, just so cool seeing us all grow in our respective fields. And Steve like has been killing it on camera. His like
DP boy,
man,
he's got a great eye for
got a great eye for it, and it's really cool seeing him grow in that passion of actually doing camera. And he'll come to me with such a cool shot idea, or I'll be like, so this is how I want this setup to be, and then he'll be like, oh, what if like this is the framing or whatever, like, and the lighting too, like the thing we just shot with you and Jamie, you and John, the way he lit one of them was so cool. It was great, and I'm like, that's awesome, because that's such an important part of being a DP is the lighting.
It's very efficient too.
Yeah,
we didn't have to do too much to fuck around with it.
Yeah. And it's all that in the post. I mean, Autumn's absolutely phenomenal. The new kind of way that we've been working is that she's working out of the other office already. She's got her good setup there, a good computer to work off the time and the focus to be able to do it and not have us killing her with
Jamie's been killing it. Steve's been killing it. You've been killing it. Autumn's been killing it.
Clay's been killing it.
Kib, I think that you are an unbelievable performer. Thanks, I think that you are able to get into the zone of acting and performing so well and so quickly that like people need like some takes and warm-ups to do it, and you just jump right into it. Obviously like there'll be notes and stuff like, oh, try it like this, but like you're just like always down to just jump right into it, and it's like
positivity mustard gas. It's like the whole room is just like, let's fucking do it, because you're like, I don't know, Clay, you have like when you're there, I feel better because I just
thanks, man.
I trust that if I don't do a good job, at least I'll have fun doing it, because I know that you're gonna bring that
so sweet
positivity.
You're thanks, like, guys.
It's legendary, like the stuff that we're doing, and like you guys, I love your guys is like professional, very professional.
Yeah,
professionalism. I said it first barely. Professionalism that you bring to the set and to the shoot, which like keeps us all like. I feel like when you guys are there, and like when Jamie jumps into his it's so funny when you jump in, you're like, you're 18.
All right, everybody, let's do that. I'm sorry.
All right. Point out, Sarah, we're going for one. I'm sorry.
To apologize. Oh yeah.
It's so funny, but like especially when we did the Christmas finale.
That was so fun.
Well,
it was just
time check, ladies and gentlemen.
So sorry to yell.
Hey, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. I just like because we didn't know a lot of the.
Yeah.
I hadn't met the Funhouse or Cow Chop guys
Cow
yet, so it was like
you didn't want to come off as a dick, but
I didn't want to think that I'm just like that, where I'm like, hey, shut the fuck up, boys. I can do that with you guys, but like with them, it was like I wanted to. I didn't want
it's
to feel
great.
alienated.
I fucking love it.
I think there's just such a good balance of everything with our like team, and we're finally like a crew now that's like a good size where everybody's got their roles to be doing, and Kib falls asleep.
I thought
And
how long was I out?
9
yeah.
years.
It was like 3 days.
I'm fucking do it.
still rolling.
Yeah.
All right.
That was really we had a big conversation about this, and when we were doing the woods, it was like I remember before we even did the woods, I walked in and I would kind of use vernacular and stuff in the office, and I remember at one point you were like, I like that you treat this like it's a real thing. And
Yeah.
for me, it was like, well, you guys should absolutely look at this as like a full-bodied production and stuff, and I'm really happy that we got to kind of bring our film and TV experience over. And
Yeah, and it's going to be really interesting how this translate going back to the vlog stuff, like how we can integrate what we've learned from doing cinematic stuff together into the more vlog stuff, because I think it's just going to take it to another level, which is
it's gonna
really
make
awesome.
the whatever idea we have to like act out and improv, it's just going to make it more efficient, I feel, because we'll know how to do everything.
And you respect yourselves more while you're doing it too, because you have that set mentality and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really fucking cool. And then that leads into our next question from Epic Hawk Reddit. Hey SB7, quick question: what's it like working with friends professionally? And there's a response from Fat Boy RL.
Fat boy, real life.
If I can add to your question, what's the process for working through creative differences with each other, and how is it handled differently, if at all, when it comes to working with guests? And we experienced that this week in a really exciting way, where can we talk about the actor in the next episode? 'Cause that's really exciting. I was really excited to see you work with them.
Who?
Posey.
Posey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend of ours, John Posey.
John Posey, who is an amazing actor, and I'm sure that you've seen him in something, and maybe you just didn't realize it. So take a moment to go to IMDb and check out John Posey. He is also
phenomenal.
Tyler Posey's dad from Teen Wolf, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with.
Outstanding
Humble brag.
actor, and it was like we've known him and have wanted to like bring him in, like work with him and stuff. That's the other thing. It's getting to like bring our friends in to like hang out. It was like I was really fucking thrilled to see you get to work. It's great to see you grow
And to
in
see
general.
how much fun Posey had
fucking
with
loved
us.
it.
He had
I'm glad
a
he did,
blast.
because I was like, whenever we bring in actors that have actually like professional experience, I always think like, are they going to take
Think
this
this is a
seriously?
joke.
Are they going to, try any less hard because it's just, a YouTube show? But that's not really the case, because I've found doing all this and working with all these different actors that actors love to act,
Oh, yeah.
and that's such a cool thing. And like Posey's unbelievable, man, and he's similar to you in the way that he's like, he'll come and he's like, so I'm gonna do like this, right? Or like I want to do it like this. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, a little bit like this, blah blah blah. And he's like, okay, and then we're rolling, and then he just gets right fucking into it, and he's just there, and I'm like, yep.
And it's cool because like when doing like film and TV is so rigid sometimes, because it's like you're kind of if you're good to work with as an actor, you recognize that you are just you're a screwdriver for them to pull out of their belt every once in a while. And so we kind of sit back and just let those instructions happen upon us, and then we go fulfill it and shit. And so it can feel very like stilting, where you're just like waiting for somebody to kind of let you go out there and play for a minute, and then you have to like wait for them to reset and stuff. So I think Posey like realized like, oh, this is a playground. Like I can just go in and have fun, and they'll receive whatever I'm putting out there.
That's the cool thing too, because like the more fun we have shooting, it usually turns out better.
Yeah.
That's the
And
best
that was
part of it.
totally the case this last episode. Like,
But to answer the question, we've got a little off
sorry.
topic.
Yeah,
sorry.
I was gonna do it too. Good.
No problem. Yeah. Like we talked about this on our like very serious episode where we all had a very heated conversation. But like definitely working with your best friends takes a little bit of a toll on it. But I think once you have that conversation and you're all aware of it, you can differentiate business talk, business decisions over friendship decisions. And I mean, I think it's still, no matter what, will take a little bit of toll from the friendship, because it's not every time you see your friend, it's not just all fun and games. It's work. So then when you think of that person, you think you have that work feeling as well associated with them. So, I'm grateful, and I wouldn't change it for the world,
No,
because I
absolutely
wouldn't
not,
want to do this without my best friends. But it does definitely take a little bit of a toll. Not like I don't consider you guys friends anymore, not like that, but it does just like make a work relationship combined with the friendship as well.
Yeah,
I think
and
is
with
the
the
best way to put it.
relationship too.
Yeah.
Like it's because Jamie and I love you to death, but we agree on maybe 5 things.
Yeah.
5 things. The rest of them, we're on complete opposite sides, and so we're always having to figure out a way to get on the same page
Compromise.
about things. And I am very stubborn.
we both are. I mean, like I think it's a good thing too, because we know what we want, and when we go to get it, we really get it. But if those are opposite things, we had a thing in the car on the way over here. I was like, we're a team, and we have to find the separation between our relationship and our professional arrangement here. And it's like sometimes it's like, when does work end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain way that we speak to each other professionally, and there's another way we speak to each other
On Twitter.
romantically,
Just kidding.
Yeah, I love fucking the shit you guys say to each other on Twitter, knowing that you guys are sitting right next to each other on the couch.
Yeah.
But the thing too that's cool, and I remember last week when we were going over the script for what we shot.
Yeah.
The three of us had a little bit of a disagreement with one of the jokes, and at the time I got a little frustrated because like I saw where you guys were coming from, but I was also just like, I don't think it matters. But then, I mean, thinking about it after, I was like, I understand. And it just helped teach me that I'm not always right with my ideas, or my idea isn't always the best idea, or whatever. And like to be open to everyone else's ideas, especially in such a collaborative scene, and not just Steve or Kib's ideas, you know? Like, because you guys have amazing ideas that you give us. Like, what was the one that, I won't say it, but I'll tell you after. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say anything about it because it's going to be in this next episode.
Yeah.
But over the phone, when we talked, and you gave me that. You said that idea, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's the funniest fucking thing!" Like, it's just you gotta know that like any relationship, whether it's work, your best friends, your loved one, like you have to be able to grow with it.
Well, it's respecting. It's respect, and that at the end of the day, regardless of the blurred lines between our friendship or our relationship or whatever, it's like we respect each other.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
When we disagreed
so much,
and you were like, I'd kind of been like, here's my piece. You know, I don't agree with this, whatever. And you were like, well, this is what we're doing. For me, it was like, okay, you're the boss. We're doing it. You know, it's just.
But just to give us the room to speak, like
to feel heard.
that we disagree
humongous.
is great.
And I don't ever want to be like, oh, we have to do what he says because he's the boss. Like,
No,
I don't,
it was-
I don't wanna,
But you
You have the vision.
It comes down like this too. It's like, and this answers the second question to that. With an idea, it's best idea wins. The one that most people find usually the funniest or the best, because it usually usually the best idea. And
as
sometimes
long as
if
it fits in with the story and everything.
Exactly. And sometimes if it's too crude or whatever, or
if it like strays too far, or if it's just too absurd, we're like, yeah, that's hilarious.
The three of
but
us
like,
can be wrong sometimes.
Oh, absolutely,
too.
yeah. And
but
it's just,
but usually, as far as like just normal and how it's always been, it's usually just the best idea. Anyone's idea. Anybody says an idea, even a fan, even a friend who's barely part of it, like best idea wins, and that's like how it works because that's the best route to go. It's the best idea. Majority best idea wins. Yeah.
It's we're in service to the story, and I think everyone's got that same goal of like we're working together against the problem, not against each other.
Yeah. But yeah, working with friends is great, and it's great because I didn't start out as friends with you guys.
Yeah.
I didn't know you guys, but I've like the friendships that I have now are very precious to me, and so that's been really special.
I consider you guys some of my best friends, without a doubt. Like, and that's amazing that happened because there are so many times where you work in whatever job it is, and you have these coworkers that you hate. Yeah, you just fucking hate.
Yeah,
and it's like there's no way around that. But I have to work with this person. But now it's like these people started as people that were cool and funny, and I liked working with them. To some of my best friends that like. And it's just an amazing thing.
Yeah, I think to give advice to anyone who's wanting to do this sort of thing, or to to getting into any sort of job, if you're working with people that you're close with, there needs to be a respect for the position and for what you guys are trying to do, and to understand that you're both trying to achieve the best outcome and not attack each other.
And something we've recently learned is that there needs to be time to just be friends instead of always working.
That's something we struggle with, but we've still done decently well lately, but we've definitely all just been so worked up.
It's hard.
Like so devoted to working that when we're not working, we're all just on our fucking couch. You know what I mean? Just like recharging to work again. So you never have that like friendship balance. But
that's something she has a hard time with, just kind of like cooling down. I'm really good at hanging out.
I do.
And
I can fucking, dude, I can hang all goddamn day anywhere. I can sit on my couch and fucking hang out all day.
I got to pee so bad.
Okay. Let's get into that question because his bladder.
I mean, I think we're kind of.
We can,
Do you want to try one more?
No. I want to hear everything you guys have to say. I have to pee so bad, but this is going to be.
We may answer more questions. We just ran out of time this time. But
next week we'll, because it's going to be a bigger segment.
And let us know how you like the segment.
Yeah.
And you guys can talk about pop culture stuff too. It doesn't have to be questions related to the behind the scenes.
Yeah, it could be anything. What do you guys think about this?
Any question, opinions on whatever. We've got opinions, baby. We've got straight white male opinions that you all want to hear.
All four of us.
All four of us here.
Well,
you're the one who's a little less white here. We can
a little bit
take that
a
as
little bit less
your
male
blessing
too.
for us.
Yeah, a little less.
I'm going to assume that was like a yes, please talk without abandoning.
Interesting how you said a little less white. before a little less male. Is there something we don't know about?
I have to pee. I'm getting UTI. I feel it forming.
Oh no,
All right,
you gotta pee now.
friends. Thank you to Bespoke Post and
Vincero
Watches for sponsoring today's podcast.
Keeping us alive.
Yes. We will see y'all next week. Same
Hasta
time,
luego.
Same bat channel.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna get sick from licking Steve's watch.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
You want to cut it?
Ratatouille.
Button on the side.
Here I got.
You guys want to have ratatouille tonight?
Yeah, go pee.
I think the celebrities are also it's evening out to where like celebrities aren't just people on TV and movies where they're this other identity. Like we have social media and we have places where people can grow on social media. They become normalized as normal people, and so I think that's a better place. And they also, if something bad happens, we can gang up together on social media and say this is not cool. We can't do this anymore. So they're getting
So we kind of have some more power to like
Exactly, we
even
have
the
the
playing
power
field
now.
a